What's happening, peoples? Welcome to the Armchair Pundits Arsenal midweek review show, powered by me, Bevan. I'm just going to get straight into it. Wolves 2, Arsenal 2. And what is going on? What are they doing? I'm watching that game. I'm livid. I'm vexed. You are 2-0 up in a game when you're not necessarily playing well. I get that. And you got to stay in you got to stay in it. Cool, you don't lose, but from that position, you got to win. And we'll start from the beginning. So we score after 5 minutes. We're cross from Declan Rice and Saka gets on to the end of a header. And you think, how many are we going to score? What's it going to be? But it's like we just didn't get going. And as the first half went on, Wolves looked like they were the ones in the ascendancy and they were pushing for an equaliser. And I just can't. I think Martinelli had a chance to score, but I can't remember too many chances where in that first half where we could score. It seems like at the moment there's just a problem with our attack, and it just looks so disjointed. And then we go into half time and we're 1-0 up, albeit not playing the greatest. And then the second half starts, and Wolves look like they're on top. They're attacking. I'm not saying they don't really look like they're gonna score a goal, but they're just putting a lot of pressure on. And then we get a goal. It's a great run by Hincapié, and it's a good finish. Nice through ball from Gabriel, and we go 2-0 up. And I think it's Bueno that plays Hincapié on the side, and he goes from no Bueno to Bueno inside 3 minutes because he goes down the other end, and scores a brilliant goal when he bends it into the top corner. And then at 2-1, we look like we're in problems. We look like Wolves are kind of growing into the game, and then we kind of weather the storm, and then their attack kind of peters out. And when it gets to the 90th minute, you're thinking, just hold on. But as soon as I saw Trossard get his injury, as soon as Trossard got injured, I just had a feeling, and it wasn't a good one. And what happens? A cross comes into the box. Raya comes out to claim the ball where Gabriel was winning it, and it's a collision between both of them. Then it falls to Edozie, who scores on his debut, and you just think, how did that happen? Not only does it come off of Calafiori, but from the beginning, it's like a comedy of errors. There's no need for Raya to come and collect that ball because Gabriel was winning it. There was no one around him. It was an easy header for him to win, and you just get the ball up the pitch, and then that's it. It's the game done. But I get why he's come out for it, because if he claims it, then he can slow the game down. But there was just no need, and it just seems that like sometimes that can happen with Raya. He can either win us the game, or he can make an error and then cost the goal, and that's what's happened today. His errors led to the goal, and we've drawn a game that we should have won. You're 2-0 up, away at Wolves, a team that's bottom of the league. You got to see that game out. And it just seems that like over the last couple of games, there's just some cracks showing in this team. I know that we've had 2 away games, but really, there were 2 away games that are winnable. I know in my last match reaction, I said that Brentford hadn't lost, or they've only lost 2 games away from home all season. But I mean, today against Wolves, I think they said that Wolves haven't scored a goal against Arsenal in the last 5 years. So to get 2 after being 2-0 up, it's diabolical, man. I know that like they're trying to win the league and stuff like that, but they've got to show more than what they're doing at the moment, because that just wasn't good enough. I'm not saying that every performance has got to be like 10 out of 10 and it's got to be amazing. But those are the games where you've got to win, especially when you're not playing well. And there's 2 games in a row now where that's happened. And they've got to ask themselves, like, what do they want? Do they want to win this league? What do they really want? They got to look at themselves in the mirror. And I know we got Spurs now, who've got a new manager, and it's another away game, and that game is a must-win. They cannot lose that game, because once that starts happening, then the whole notion of pressure starts being spoken about, and then you can kind of see it on the pitch. And it's funny because this season, there's been moments where our defense has looked amazing and our defense has carried us, but then it's been the problem in attack. And today, it was like there was problems in attack, but then we lose to a complete defensive error, just a mistake, and they've got to be ironed out. They have to be ironed out, because you're trying to win a league here, and you got to. I get there's going to be pressure. I get that, like, there's going to be difficult moments, but you've got to, like, go through those difficult moments. You got to take the league. No one's going to give this league to you. No one's going to give you victories. You have to go out there and grab those victories. And at the moment, it seems that, like, there's doubt that's kicking in, and it needs to be ironed out, because the games aren't getting any easier. We go away to Spurs, and then we've got Chelsea. And you've got to, in those games, they have to be looking for 6 points. 6 points at a minimum. Nothing else is acceptable. I know that, like, I'm supposed to be reviewing the game, but I'm vexed. I'm vexed about what I saw. I'm vexed about how that last goal came about. I'm vexed about the performance that I saw. It's just away from home in a game where you should really be controlling it, and especially after you start a game where you're winning and you go up after 5 minutes, you've just got to see that game out. You really do. It's just been too many instances where this is happening, and this isn't the time of the season where you could be having a blip. I know there's going to be twists and turns, but you got to start eliminating some of those mistakes, and in some instances, we're just going to have to be braver in our attack as well. Yeah, next game is Spurs away from home at White Hart Lane, and they've got a new manager. And in that game, I need these players to show some fight. I need them to show that they're up for this, and then they want this. Because before that game, City go to Newcastle. City play Newcastle. And where we should have been, we were minutes away from being 7 points clear before we play Spurs in a North London derby. And I think that a lot of this has been our own doing, especially in this game today. Fair enough, the first goal that we'll score, fair enough, that's a worldie. But then the second goal is just a catalogue of errors, and it could be avoided, and has just put unnecessary pressure on us. So I just say that, like, they've just got to look at themselves. Do they want to win this league or not? And they've got to show that they want to win this league against Spurs on Sunday. So yeah, I know I was meant to say it at the beginning. Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Tell me how you saw it. I've been Bevan. This is the Armchair Pundits. See you later.